Hello students, today we will begin the pressure in fluids. So first you know what do you mean by fluids. Fluids means anything which can flow. Anything which can flow. Now as you know, solid cannot flow. It is the liquid and gases which can flow only. So fluid means liquid as well as gases. Liquid or gases are called the fluids. Now what will be the pressure exerted by the fluids? So there is some difference between the pressure exerted by fluids and pressure exerted by a solid. For example, when you place this book on this table, if you place this book on the table, what will happen? It will exert pressure only on the surface of the table. It will exert pressure only on the surface of table. In the sideways direction, it will not exert any pressure. It's clear? But it is not in case of liquid, it is not in case of gases. If some liquid is filled in this container, then what will happen? It will exert the pressure in all the directions. It will exert pressure in all the directions, not only in the downward direction. It will exert the same amount of pressure in the sideways. It will exert the same pressure in the upward. In all the direction, it will exert the pressure. It's clear? So fluids not only exert pressure only in the downward direction, they also exert pressure in the sideways direction. Then one more thing. Here pressure exerted by fluids and gases, it is not only because of their weight. It is not only because of weight. Weight is not only one reason of exerting the pressure exerted by the fluids. In the fluids, molecules are free to move, whether it is liquid or it is gas. While in solid, as you know that molecules are not able to move. They can just vibrate about their mean position. Suppose this is a container, this room you assume as a container and some gas is enclosed in it. What will happen? Its molecules are moving here and there inside this container. They will collide with the walls of the container. When they will collide with the walls of container, what will happen? They will exert some force. So it is not only the mass of fluids which exert the pressure, which produces the pressure. It is their motion also produces the pressure. Because of their motion, pressure is produced. It's clear? Now see here. Here I am going to demonstrate, not demonstrate, I am going to explain one experiment. From that you can get the idea of the pressure exerted by the fluids, and here we have taken the liquid in that container. Suppose this is a container. Here. And some liquid is filled here. It's clear? Now, if you make some holes at the same height, you simply assume that this cup is a container. You have made one hole here, one hole here, one hole here. It's clear? You have put the cello tape over this so that the liquid do not come out. Now one by one you remove the cello tape and put your finger. Once you put here, then you put here. So you will experience some thrust in your finger. You will experience some force is acting on the finger. It shows that the liquid is exerting the pressure. Liquid is exerting the pressure in the sideways direction also. It also exerts the pressure in the sideways direction. Now see here. Here we have taken two holes at the same height, and here this container is placed on this surface. If you remove the sellotapes here. The sellotapes which you have fixed here, if you remove, what will happen? You will find that the liquid will flow out. Liquid will flow out from these holes and it will fall here. It will fall here. It's clear. And you will find that this distance will be same whether it is this or it is this. And why it will be same? Because the holes are at the same depth from the free surface. This we call it the free surface. Why do we call it as free surface? Because this surface is in contact of the air. This surface is contact of the air. It's clear. Therefore, this is the free surface. Both the holes are situated at the same depth. So, what will happen? Both the holes are situated at the same depth. So, when the sellotapes will be removed, liquid will come out from both and it will strike to the ground at the same distance from the edge of the container. Edge means this. From the wall of the container, it will strike at the same distance. But if you take one more hole here, here it is situated at the depth H1. This one is situated at more depth, that you can take H2. You will find that when you remove the sellotapes from here and here simultaneously, what will happen? Liquid will come out from both and it will fall at greater distance. It will fall at greater distance. Means at this point there is more pressure, which is at more depth there is more pressure, which is at less depth it is less pressure. It's clear. So from this experiment it is clear that liquid not only exert base pressure on the bottom of the container, they not only exert the pressure on the bottom of the container, they also exert pressure in the sideways direction. They also exert the pressure in the upward direction. Means liquid exert the pressure in all the directions. It's clear. It is exerting the pressure in all the directions. It's clear. Now the points which will be at greater depth, at them there will be greater pressure. Now after this we will deduce the formula of the pressure exerted by the liquid column. Formula of pressure exerted by the liquid column. So see here, how will you deduce, and this derivation is in your course. You can see here pressure exerted by a liquid column. And those who want to make the notes, they can listen and write down. It's clear? Or you put the video at the pause and then you can write down. It's clear? This derivation can be asked in the examination. Here this is a container which is containing liquid of density D. In your book, perhaps the symbol rho has been used. Yes. So it is containing a liquid of density rho. Here this symbol is rho, RHO. It is a Greek letter which is used to represent the density. It's clear? Density means mass per unit volume. What will be the unit of density? Kilogram per meter cube. Formula of density equals to mass upon volume. Density equals to mass upon volume. So let us consider there is a container which is containing a liquid of density rho. There is a point P at a depth h from the free surface. Here there is a point P which is situated at what depth? It is situated at the depth h from the free surface. that you can see here. Here is the this point is situated at depth h from the free surface. At this point you have to determine the pressure. Means what will be the pressure? You don't take the point P, because P we will use for the what you can say pressure. So there is a point A at a depth h from the free surface of the liquid. This surface which is in contact of air is known as the free surface. It's clear? So in order to determine the pressure at the point A, we will assume a imaginary cylinder just above to the point A. We will assume a imaginary cylinder just above to the point A. It's clear? Here we have assumed this. This is an imaginary cylinder which is just above to the point A. It's clear? This is the point A. So what will be the height of this imaginary cylinder? And we have assumed that this cylinder is situated, it is erected up to the free surface. It is erected up to the free surface. So what will be the length of this cylinder? It will be equal to h. It's clear? We have assumed that its area of cross section as small a. Area of cross section as, or you take it at this point, you take as m, and area of cross section as a. Area of cross section of imaginary cylinder as A. Now see here, how will you deduce the formula of the pressure exerted by a length of liquid column, exerted by the length of liquid column? So we have taken a container, and in that container a liquid is filled whose density is rho. We have to determine a pressure at the point M whose depth from the free surface is small h. In order to determine the pressure at the point M, we will assume a cylinder, imaginary cylinder, which is situated just above to the point M and is erected up to the free surface. It is erected up to the free surface. It is clear? Means what is the total height of the cylinder? It is h. Let the area of cross section of this cylinder is capital E. So see here, what will be the volume of cylinder? So volume of cylinder, you can see volume of imaginary cylinder. So as we know that what is the formula of volume? It is area of cross section multiplied by height. Area of cross section that you can take A, height is h. It's clear? So what will be the volume of the liquid in the container? Volume of liquid filled in container. What is the volume of liquid filled in the container? V equals to A into H, because a container can hold as much liquid as its own volume. So how much is the volume of the liquid? A into H. So what will be the mass of this liquid? Mass of liquid contained in cylinder. Contained in cylinder. So just now I have told one formula, density equals to mass upon volume. So what will be mass? Mass will be equal to density multiplied by volume. So what is the mass of liquid which is contained in this cylinder? Which is contained in this cylinder means what will be the mass of this liquid? What will be the mass of this liquid? It will be equal to volume, which is this, density which is rho. So it will be equal to A into H into rho. So what will be the weight of liquid? Weight of liquid equals to mass multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. Means what will be the weight? It will be equal to A into H into rho into G. You once again understand. See here. Here M is a point situated at depth h from the free surface in a container containing the liquid of density rho. We have to determine the pressure at the point M. In order to determine pressure at the point M, we will assume an imaginary cylinder just above to the point M, such that it is erected up to the free surface. Therefore, the total height of the cylinder will become equal to h. Now, how much is the liquid? How much is the volume of the liquid which is contained in this imaginary cylinder? That will be equal to the volume of the cylinder. So, what is the volume of the cylinder? Area of cross section into height, that is A into h. Therefore, volume of liquid filled in the cylinder, not container, it is in the cylinder. It's clear. What is the volume of liquid filled in the cylinder? It will be equal to A into H. So, what will be the mass of liquid contained in cylinder? Mass of liquid will be equal to, you can apply this formula, density multiplied volume. Density is what? Rho. Volume is A into H. So, A into H into rho. So, mass is known. So, what will be the weight? Weight will be A into H into rho into G. Now, this weight acts in what direction? Here we have assumed that this liquid is in the static condition, means the liquid is not flowing, its particles are almost at rest. So, how much weight is acting on its base? That much weight will act upon its base. What is the area of base? Area of base is A. Now, you know that weight always acts vertically downward. Weight always acts vertically downward, means it is acting perpendicularly to the base. It is acting perpendicularly to the base. Therefore, it will be the thrust. It will be the thrust. Thrust at all the points on this base. All the points including M on this base. So, thrust will be A into H into rho into G. So, what is the pressure? Pressure equals to thrust upon area on which this thrust is acting. Thrust upon area on which this thrust is acting. So, it will be equal to A into H into rho into G divided by A. A will be cancelled, that is H rho G. Pressure equals to H into rho into G. This will be the formula of the pressure exerted by a liquid column at the depth h from the free surface. P equals to H into rho into G. This is what? This is formula of liquid column. Formula of pressure exerted by liquid column. Exerted by liquid column at depth h from free surface. This will be the formula of the pressure. It's clear? Means how much pressure is exerted by the liquid at the depth h from the free surface, at depth h from the free surface, h rho G. It's clear? Now you can see here, if you take 2 points, one point you take here P, other point you have taken Q. Which one is at more depth? P is at more depth or Q is more depth? So you can see that Q is at the more depth, therefore pressure at Q will be more. Means here pressure is directly proportional to the depth of the point from the free surface. Pressure is directly proportional to the depth of the point from the free surface. If the point is situated at greater depth, then there will be greater pressure. Where will be the maximum pressure? It will be on the base. On the base of the container, there will be maximum pressure because the height is depth is maximum. Depth is maximum. It is clear? Then pressure also is directly proportional to density. More the density, more will be the pressure. It is clear? Means suppose you have taken two liquids, two type of liquid. Liquid A, liquid B. A is more denser, B is less denser. At the same depth, if you find out the pressure, it will be more in case of A and in case of B, it will be less. It is clear? So, greater the density, greater will be the pressure. It is the rho. It is clear? Now, what will be the total pressure? Total pressure, when total pressure is asked, means we have to include the atmospheric pressure also. Atmospheric pressure means the pressure exerted by the air envelope which is surrounding to us. It's clear? That pressure is already I have told in the previous lecture that atmospheric pressure at the normal temperature and pressure is how much? It is nearly 1.013 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. One atmospheric pressure, it is nearly equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. It is clear? This much Pascal. This is equivalent to 76 centimeter height of mercury column. Hg is the symbol of mercury. Mercury column means this much length of the mercury column will exert as much pressure as is the atmospheric pressure. So, when the total pressure you have to determine, then you will take the atmospheric pressure into account. You will also take into account atmospheric pressure. Suppose the atmospheric pressure is P naught here. Atmospheric pressure is P naught here. Then what will be the total pressure at H depth? Total pressure will be equal to, it will be equal to P naught plus H into rho into G. H into rho into G. That will be the total pressure. It is clear? Now see here, after this there are some laws of liquid pressure. Laws of liquid pressure. So you can see here what are the laws of liquid pressure. You can see in your book on the page 84. I have explained this pressure in fluids. Then experimental demonstration, that also I have not demonstrated the experiment, but I explained that experiment. It is clear? Then derivation of this formula, P equals to H into rho into G. What is P equals to H into rho into G? It is the pressure exerted by H height of liquid column. Pressure exerted by a liquid column at a point whose depth from the free surface is H. अगर liquid column में free surface से H depth पर कोई point है, so how much pressure will be exerted? P equals to H into rho into G. Then total pressure, that already I have told, P naught plus H rho G. Pressure depends upon what? It depends upon depth of the point from the free surface. Greater the depth, greater will be the pressure. It also depends upon the density of liquid. More denser the liquid, more the density of liquid, more will be the pressure. Is clear? Then there are some laws of liquid. It also depends upon acceleration due to gravity. But at a particular place, G remains same. So whether you have taken this container or that container, whether you have taken liquid A or liquid B, so G will not make any effect because G is same for both. It is clear. So that I am not highlighting to that, but pressure is also directly proportional to the acceleration due to gravity, that you can say. Now laws of liquid pressure. There are 5 laws of liquid pressure. So what is the first law? Liquid exerts same pressure in all the direction around any point. liquid exerts same pressure in all direction around any point. This is the first law. Means if at this point there is a 10 Pascal pressure in downward direction, then there will be 10 Pascal pressure here, 10 Pascal pressure in this direction, 10 Pascal pressure in upward direction, 10 Pascal pressure in this direction, 10 Pascal pressure in this direction. Means around a point there will be same pressure at all the points. Around a point there will be same pressure at all the points. It's clear? This is the first law. Second law, at all the points situated at same depth, there will be same pressure. At all the points situated at same depth, there will be same pressure. Means suppose here there are 3 points A, B and C. All are situated at same depth. Therefore, there will be same pressure in all the points. So, what is the second law? There will be same pressure at all the points situated at same depth. It's clear? What is the third law? Pressure is directly proportional to the depth of the point from the free surface. Pressure is directly proportional to depth of the point from the free surface. Greater the depth, greater will be the pressure. Fourth law is pressure is directly proportional to the density of the liquid. More the density of liquid, more will be the pressure at same depth. If you compare two liquid, one is denser and other is rarer. It's clear? And what is fifth law? Liquid seeks its own level. What is the meaning of liquid seeks its own level? Here this is one container. This is another container. It's clear. This is here. These are the tubes of different shape. There are the tubes of different shape. It's clear. And they are connected to one common tube. If you fill the liquid in one up to this height, what will happen? If you fill the liquid, if you pour the liquid in one tube, what will happen? Liquid will flow from one tube to the other, and ultimately what will happen? There will be liquid column up to the same height. Liquid column up to the same height means what you have done? You have poured the liquid in this. You have poured the liquid in this. After some time, what will happen when the liquid will come to rest? When liquid comes to rest, then it settles itself in such a way that the free surface is at the same level. Free surface is at the same level. It will not be that here height of the liquid column is this and here it is less. It will not be this. It is clear? Liquid will stay at rest when free surface will achieve the same height. It is clear? So, these are the 5 laws of the liquid pressure. What is the first law? Liquid exerts same pressure in all the direction around a point. Number 2, there will be liquid exerts same pressure in all the direction around a point. Number 2, there will be same pressure at all the points situated on at same level. Because when they will be at same level, their depth will be same, so pressure will be same. Number 3, pressure increases with increasing depth. Number 4, pressure increases with increasing density of the liquid. And number 5, liquid seeks its own level. It is clear? So, these are the 5 laws of the liquid pressure. Then here some consequences of liquid pressure are given. It is clear? So, one already I have explained. If you see the pillars of the bridges, then these pillars are made wider at the bottom. These pillars are made wider at the bottom. Why they are made wider at the bottom? Because in order to bear the enormous pressure of the liquid water, bear the enormous pressure of the water at greater depth. It's clear? Because if they are pillars are less wider, then what will happen? Because of the flow of the liquid, because of the flow of the water, because of the greater pressure of the water, what will happen? Pillars will flow, pillars will displace, and when pillars will displace, so what will happen? That bridge may collapse. So that you can can read here diverse and size of gas bubble into water. When a gas bubble rises from here to free surface, what will happen? Its size will increase and it will become maximum here. It's clear. So in this lecture we do up to here only. You can read these some consequences of liquid pressure. These are the self-explanatory, very simple. So you can read this. Now in the next lecture we will start from the Pascal's law. It's clear. So thank you.